welcome to episode 2 of Shy Guy the Marriage Guide. I'm Shiloh. Thank you for joining me. If you're stuck around after the first episode, cool. Welcome back. I'll try not to say as many ahs or never mind, because I just did it again. So this episode, I think I'm going to talk about basically the feelings that you've got coming up. There we go, did it again. The guilt, the hurt, the pain, the sadness, the deep just depression that you're probably feeling when your spouse, partner, significant other says that they want a divorce, or at least they're not happy in the marriage. Maybe you're separated. In my case, we're separated, but not divorced yet. And at the very least, I'm hoping, like me, that you've got some little grain of hope that you're able to build off of. Now, me, I love my wife immensely. The most important thing in my life is my family, my marriage, my kids, my wife. Love her to the moon and back. Now, unfortunately, I didn't do nearly a good enough job of showing her that. It's by the way, if your spouse or whoever's, told you that they want a divorce or they're not happy in the marriage, this isn't like a brand new thing. It's not like you just had one big fight and all of a sudden they want nothing to do with your marriage anymore. I guarantee, like in my situation, well, most likely anyway, that this has been building a long time. This is probably something that's been happening in the back of their mind for years, months, however long. It's not like they just came to this conclusion. They want to end their marriage right then and there. They've obviously been thinking about this a long time, and it's probably, been hurting them just as much as it hurts you right now. For me, even 10 months later, and I can't even talk about it or think about it without crying, without tears coming up with tears in my eyes, like right now. Just doing this, absolutely, I am so sad and remorseful for where my marriage is, mostly because of me. I mean, she had been telling me for years that, she couldn't do this all on her own. She needs my help. Where she needs her partner. You got to quit this job. You got to find a different job. She tried moving to the same city as me with my job so that, so that I could just get off work and come home and be home. I also told her for years that don't worry, the next show I'll take a regular job on the show where I'll work 9 to 5 or I'll work 3 days on, 3 days off, whatever. It was, and in all honesty, that's what I had planned to do, but it just never worked out that way. Money. I want money because of my shitty financial planning, and later on my addiction. Money was always an issue, so therefore I always needed to work longer and make more money, which was impossible for my wife. Now, my wife, that being said, my wife was a stepmother, pretty much his sole caregiver, to my son from a different relationship, and he had behavioral issues as well as mental health issues and learning issues, and I'm very, Alvin, I love you, so if you see this, don't take offense, but you were kind of hard to bring up as a kid. It was a challenge. Love it, wouldn't want it any other way. However, having kids, as everybody knows, as much as you love them, it's fucking difficult. She'd been telling me for years she couldn't do this alone. She needed my help, and I wasn't there for her. And I was hearing this, but at the same time, I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, well, what do you do? Like, you don't work, your job is to take care of the house and the kids, and my job is to work my ass off and pay for everything. Now, that being said, that statement I just made isn't quite so true. There was often times where my wife was working and needed to work, and again, because of my shitty financial responsibilities, had to work. Now, so that's number one. If you, maybe you're not even there yet. Maybe you're still married and you can sense that your marriage is on the rocks, or just there's something not right about it. If that is the case, I urge you, I implore you, please listen to your significant other. Take the hints that they're giving you and listen and respect what they're saying, and honestly apply it, because you do not want to be where I am. I tell you, it is the worst feeling. I feel so guilty for where I put us, and I just so badly want my wife and my family back. It makes me sick to my stomach knowing that there's the chance it could all be over forever. And this is my soulmate, you know? I gotta pause this. So again, what can you do to work on your marriage, starting with just yourself? Is work on just yourself. So the only way you're gonna get your spouse back, or they're gonna want to be back with you, okay, maybe there's more than that, but to me, the only way is they need to be attracted to you once more. I mean, clearly they've lost attraction to you, or for you, or you know, they want to be with you. Yeah, that's my theory. It's what I guess, right? But you know, they're not. You know, if they see just a depressed, miserable, you know, mopey person, and you have every right to be. I mean, losing what's most important to you at the moment. But then they're not going to want to be with that person. So try to be positive. Try to, you know, if you're going to be around them, be positive, be happy, be smiley. I don't know, right? You be confident. You know, stand with proper posture. Sit with proper posture. Probably not doing that right now. But you know, chin up, shoulders back. Look positive. Look confident. Look happy. Even if you're dying on the inside, you don't want them to know that. I mean, it's okay for them to know that obviously you're, you know, sad that you're breaking up and that your marriage is on the rocks. But don't bring that energy around them 24/7, because they're not going to be around that. They're not going to want to be around that. That's 100% what was happening with me. I was miserable, mopey, whiny, crying. You know, and the more I was like that, the more my wife wanted nothing to do with me. The more I projected confidence, the more I pretended I was happy, and that I was okay with what was going on, and you know, hey, that's right. It probably is the best decision right now. The more she'd want me to be around, the more she'd want to talk to me about things. You know? That brings me to the next point. Is you know, when you were first with your spouse, you probably were their person. And if you don't know what I mean by their person, what I mean is you know, they can talk to you, they can talk to you about their problems, their worries, you know, stuff that was on their mind. And you would listen and be their safe spot. You were their comfort. At some point, you've lost that. Sorry. At some point, you've lost that, though. You know, you're not their person. Try to be that for them again. No matter how much you may disagree with them about something, don't let them know. Just be that place where if they're having a shitty day at work, they can tell you. Don't react, you know? Even if they're mad at you, maybe they want to get a vent about you. Just don't react. Listen, suck it up. And project a calm, reasonable, you know, be that voice of reason, be that calmness, you know, their comfort. Don't do what I'm doing now. Oh man. Be their soft spot, you know, their comfort, their person. You know, try to be positive. I think I've said that enough times now. But try to be positive. And you know, if you're going it alone, if you're trying to save your marriage by yourself, then the most important thing is do not waver. Do not give up. Because I mean, what does that mean, right? Do not give up. God, I've wanted to give up so many times. but you need to believe 100% that you can save your marriage, and that this is just a speed bump in the road, that you can continue to have a healthy, positive, happy, great relationship with your spouse as long as you make some key changes in your relationship, your communication, yourself. That's my best advice. And the reason I say that is because if two people are working on fixing the marriage, great. If two people are committed to fixing the marriage, awesome. You're halfway there. Now you just gotta fix the marriage. If one person is trying to save the marriage and fix the marriage, you know, you're a quarter of the way there. Eventually that other person's gonna need to come around. But there's a chance that you can do what you need to do to make that person want to come around. If you give up, you're not trying to fix your marriage, and they're not trying to fix your marriage, well, your marriage is fucking down the tubes, obviously. You're not gonna fix it. So if you are seriously committed to wanting to fix your marriage and get your significant other back, then the most important thing is don't give up, don't waver, don't fucking, you know, just don't give up. Do whatever you can to keep faith, keep hope, keep the faith alive. In my case, don't sing to your spouse. There's another important one. Do not sing. If you cannot sing, which I cannot, nor can I ever remember the fucking words to any songs, So I just constantly make up my own. Don't sing to them, because as much as you think they might like it, they don't. They hate it. My wife hates it when I try to sing to her. Kids love it. Wife absolutely fucking hates it. What else can I say? What else? Back to going, it's doing it by yourself, and things you can do is to work on you, is in my case, finances are a huge issue. I've never been good at financially, and I lived a somewhat, funny, I don't want to say privileged, because my life has kind of been fucked over the years. I was raised by a single mom who had a good job, but by no stretch of the imagination were we wealthy. And I ended up, I was running away, living on the streets, and hanging out on the streets in downtown all the time. I was selling drugs at a really early age to make money, living in group homes, stuff like that. However, later on, my mom remarried. She married a doctor, specialist, a dermatologist, who, was I don't know how many millions, but worth, at least a few $1 million anyway. And so once that happened, it was kind of like, they'd bail me out of anything I get into. So in that sense, I was definitely privileged. So, they enabled me to keep fucking up, because anytime I did fuck up, they'd be there to bail me out. So because of that, I never really became responsible when it came to finances, because I knew, I guess subconsciously in the back of my head, that it doesn't matter what I do, I'll always have mommy and daddy's tit to suck on, yeah, not a good way to live. So maybe if finances are a thing for you, do some financial planning. Maybe take some financial, a course. Maybe you can find some course or something to learn how to handle money, be responsible with it, budgets, and all that fun stuff. If you can, great. That's awesome. That would be my suggestion there. Maybe anger. Maybe, a lot of people get divorced because they just don't communicate properly anymore, and all they do is yell and scream and freak out at each other, and it's one in ear, out the other. However, if you can avoid somehow being like that, then definitely avoid being like that. Oh my God, it's freezing. How do I turn this? Go to the gym. Physical attraction. Physically, a person needs to be attracted to you physically. We all know how important that is. If you want to be with somebody that you think is ugly, so try to work this on your appearance and your health. Focus on your health, and being good, being handsome or pretty or dressing nice and in style, and do your best to work on that, because I imagine that's going to go a long way as well to getting back together with your spouse. I'm gonna pause it for right now. I'm driving through a twisty, mountainous road, and yeah, I'm gonna pause this for a minute. Where is he? Well, sorry about that. As you can tell, like I was saying, for me, I am incredibly emotional when it comes to this. My family is the most important thing in the world to me. So the thought that I could be losing my wife absolutely destroys me. And especially knowing that, really, I have nobody to blame but myself for that. So where was I? I think basically I was talking about it's obviously been on your partner's mind for a while. It's probably just as difficult for them and feels just as hurtful and painful for them as it does for you. The only difference is they knew what was coming and we didn't. That being said, they've probably been giving you hints for a while, and just do what you can to acknowledge those hints, listen and apply what they're asking you, and don't make false promises like, yeah, I'll change, and then doing nothing about it. That was the main thing with me. I'd hear what she said, and I knew that there was things she wanted me to do, and I told her that I would definitely, I would do everything I could to make those changes happen, with every intention of doing that. However, clearly I never did. Certainly not enough for her. When it finally came down, when the hammer came down for me, I came home from work, and my wife and kids were gone. She had moved back to her hometown, and reality hit. Holy shit, she was serious. Yep. So I decided to do right then and there whatever I could to at least try to salvage my marriage. So, one of the big things for her was me quitting my job, which I did pretty much on the spot. I quit my job of 10 years. Union job, really good seniority, lots of money, and great benefits. And right then and there, I decided I fucking hate this job. So I did. I quit. I mean, this job was never going to be good for my marriage. I remember on day one of orientation for my job, they sent us home with a package talking about how 80% of marriages in this industry that I was working in failed. 80%. I remember showing that to my wife and her being like, and this is the job you want? And I should have known right then and there. I mean, what's more important? And then that's really what it comes down to. What's more important? Money, success, whatever, or just a happy life, a happy marriage, They say a happy wife makes a happy life. I mean, I beg to differ a little bit. I think it's, both of you deserve and need to be happy to have a happy marriage and a happy life. And if one of you isn't, it's not much fun. It's definitely not gonna be a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage. So, as soon as that happened, I absolutely resorted to push behaviors. Now, I'm not sure what the acronym is or whatever, or synonym, or I don't really know English all that well. But basically what I'm saying, I think the push behaviors might be short for something, push might be, each letter means something else. But I'll tell you, to me, what push behaviors mean are behaviors that you're instantly, instantly, this is what you want to do. This is your instant reaction to hearing the news, or what you feel like you should do to get your wife back, or your husband, whichever it may be. And you think those are the things that you should be doing because it comes naturally. However, all you're doing by doing those things is pushing them further and further away, faster and faster as well. And for me, it was, instantly, I wanted to, convince her that it's not as bad as she thought. This doesn't need to be like this. It's not as bad as you think. We have a great marriage. We love each other undeniably, and we have more good times than bad. We fight less than we do fight. Things like that. And obviously, your spouse doesn't feel the same way. Your spouse is obviously committed to not being in this marriage with you anymore. There's a reason for that. And as much as you think it's not as bad as they think, to them it's just as bad as they think. So I would call her. I would be bawling my eyes out on the phone. Please, baby, don't do this. Don't do this. And all that did for her was, reinforce that she was probably making a good decision. I mean, to me, that probably just made me look like a weak, sniveling, whiny, non-masculine person who doesn't have much value as far as being a good husband. Like what, it's just a whiny, weak, depressed, sniveling, whatever person. So that would just push her further away. Trying to convince her that she's wrong and I'm right, probably pushing her away a little more. Getting angry with the person. How could you do this to us? Blah, 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 blah. Again, all that's doing is pushing them further away. Pushing them to make that decision and be confident that they're making the right decision. As much as you may disagree with that decision, trust me, I think my wife is making a horrible decision. I think it should be. I think that 100% she should be committed to working on our marriage and saving our marriage and working with me to try and better our marriage. However, in her mind, she's completely already done that. She's been working on trying to save our marriage. She's been trying to be committed to saving our marriage and improving it and having better communication skills. The problem is, when she was doing that, I wasn't listening, and I wasn't doing my part in making this marriage better or trying to save the marriage. And it really sucks. If you, what other push behaviors can I think of is if you have kids, don't involve the kids. Kids are self-absorbed, self-centered assholes. As much as we love them, they are. And that being said, they're automatically going to think that it's their fault somehow. Because they don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. So please reinforce to your kids that it's not their fault at all. 100%, it is not their fault in any way, shape, or form. And then do your best not to include them in what's going on between you and your spouse. What else can I say? Ah, man. So, clearly, it's been coming on for a while. You probably missed a bunch of the signals, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you noticed them but didn't think she was serious, or he was serious, and now you've been slapped in the face with a dose of reality. What can we do? What can you do to make it better? To convince your spouse that you know the marriage is worth saving. Now, for me, I'm in a hard spot. So my wife has absolutely, unequivocally told me that she does not in any way, shape, or form want to discuss our relationship. At all. Which, for me, is so hard. Getting emotional again. So hard because how do I not talk about how do I save my marriage without being able to talk about it? You know? How can I possibly work on fixing my marriage if my partner refuses to even discuss it? And if I do discuss it, believe me, all it does is piss her off. She shuts down. She pretty much cuts off communication with me. And so for me, that's 10 times worse because then all of a sudden now, not only am I not making my marriage any better, but it's making it 10 times worse. So, here's the thing. You can work on your marriage. And you can do it without the help of your spouse or significant other. At least to start. And the way you can work on your marriage is to work on yourself. I mean, clearly, the reason that your spouse is willing to leave the marriage is because they're not happy with you or things that you're doing. So, as long as your spouse isn't a narcissistic, asshole, so things that have worked for me, things that haven't. So of course, all these push behaviors that I was doing didn't do a goddamn thing to help bring my wife closer or back to wanting to work on the marriage. Now I became desperation mode. So I was again willing to do anything I could to bring my wife back to the table to try and save my marriage, including. Now you'll notice there's a whole bunch of different things that you can buy online. Save your marriage freaking plans. Excuse me. Save your marriage programs. X Factor, get your ex back. Things like that. So I bought one of those. Hoping it would teach me something useful that I could use to get my wife back. And some of the stuff seemed to work. So, it was things that I was just talking about, right? Being 100% confident, being confident, having faith, believing that you can get the marriage back, doing things like, not showing a weak side of you to your spouse, the masculine leads, the feminine follows. Your spouse is always gonna want what they can't have. If for them to want to be with you, you've got to be attracted to them again. You know, whether it's physically, spiritually, emotionally, those are the three things of attraction that I can think of, right? Physically, obviously, you wanna keep up your appearance. Go to the gym, lose some weight, get back in shape, go start jogging, start running. You know, that's it's gonna make you more attractive, I believe, to your spouse. And whatever, if not, you're at least gonna feel better about yourself, right? The other thing is so we're talking about physically, emotionally. You know, that was what I was saying with being your spouse's person. You need to be that emotional comfort zone for them. You need to be somewhere where they can go vent and feel safe, and that's very important. Feeling safe, feeling like they can trust you. That's what I've lost. Me and my wife in our marriage, she has absolutely no trust for me whatsoever, and doesn't believe a fucking word I say. And that's because I haven't given her much to go by in the past. You know, it sucks. And at least I can see that now, and I can do everything I can to work on that. But yeah, trust, obviously a huge one. You know, don't put your spouse down. Don't talk shit about them to the kids or to your guys' mutual friends. You know, don't try to make them look bad, because again, if they see you doing that, it's just going to drive them further and further away. And you don't want that if you're still watching me and you want to figure out what to do to save your marriage. Also, what not to do to save your marriage. Spiritually, you know, if two people are spiritually connected or have at least somewhat of the same beliefs, then, you know, I can't imagine that's going to be very good for the marriage either. Yeah, you know, if you know, you're whether it's yoga or Christianity or Judaism or Muslimism, what is that again? Islam? Whatever your faith, whatever your religion, whatever your belief is, I mean, you sort of want to be somewhat connected to your spouse on that level. It'll make for a much happier relationship, you know, if you were butting heads just on whatever you both believe spiritually, then you're going to butt heads on so many other things as well, and that person's not going to feel as connected to you. Where was what are more push things that I've tried? So I was very I went from being, you know, the not ever there and not showing my wife enough affection or giving her the time she needed me for, you know, she needed some time with me, and I went from one extreme to the other, which was as soon as I quit my job, that was it. I had nothing but time to give her. And that was all I wanted to do, was spend my time with her, which after 10 years of pretty much being a single mom or a single wife, she was like, holy fuck, overload, you know? Maybe she didn't want me around as much as she thought she did, because, well, now I was around all the time, and she's like, get the fuck away from me. This is what it was like to have you around before? Jesus, what the hell was I thinking? Go back to work. Woo! So, non-materialistic woman I could ever ask for. So, you know, if there's one person whose love cannot be bought, it is my wife. And, you know, I appreciate that about her so much. However, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me wishes it would be so much more easier if she was materialist. Could I just not buy your love? But no, not something I can do with my wife. Probably not the most healthy way to get married back to begin with. Yeah. What else? What else did I do? You could try cooking her dinner, or maybe asking your wife out on a date, or your husband out on a date. You know, when's the last time that you guys went out and had a drink together at a bar with no kids, get a babysitter and at least, you know, a couple of times a week try to just have some one-on-one time with your spouse. That could definitely go a long ways in helping to save your marriage, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna end it now because I don't really have much more to say on today's topics. Next time I come back, though, we're gonna talk about specific scenarios that happened and what I did and possibly what worked and what didn't. Thank you for joining Shy Guy's Marriage Guide. This has been episode 2. Once again, like and subscribe, please. And let's see if we can make this podcast a little something. Maybe get some viewers and likes and shares and hopefully we can continue to do this. I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much and have yourselves a fabulous day.